We're gonna have ourselves a Hunter Thompson weekend. A motel in the woods with a bottle of booze. Can't lose. We're gonna have ourselves a Hunter Thompson weekend. You and me, baby, drink away all of our blues. Start. Are you ready for start time? Yeah. All right. From the man who brought you Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Yeah. Come on. Did he run? Dr. Hunter Thompson. There he is. All right.
Yes.
I wonder, do you have a fascination with violence? I understand you raised Doberman pinchers, that you're a good hand with a .44 Magnum pistol, and that you've associated closely with the Hells Angels.
Yeah, well, it's just a fucking journalist. No, I never had a Doberman that I would depend on to clear away for me in the school of the blind or the small underprivileged children. The peacocks are much meaner. And, well, violence moves anyway. The violence is not dull. It's not a fascination, but at least it's movement, it's life. And I thought until fairly recently that I'd actually gotten a fine rein on myself and understood myself and given up violence, but it's just too much fun. Yeah, I don't advocate it for me or anybody else, but it's kind of a nice, nice to blow the tubes out every once in a while, just get everything cleaned out. Yeah. You motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you! And just, I don't have an ulcer for that. I think that's one of the reasons.
Why did the Hells Angels stop them?
Well, they were dumb, for one thing. They, let's see. It's a complex thing, but it really boils down to money. They finally took me seriously and realized I was going to write a book. And I was going to get $5 a copy for the books. Because when I went out to do for the Labor Day run, I had the book cover, and I didn't like it. And so I told Random House if they'd pay for it, I would go out and get, I would take a new cover. And at this time, I'd become so careless. I'd been around them for a year and a half, and I had friends in all the chapters. And I disobeyed all my rules. I stayed after midnight. I got all fucked up, argued with them. And on all the major runs, like Labor Day runs, the big ones, they're like pilot fish. They're surrounded by people called perspectives who feel it's very important to be much tougher than, not the toughest Hells Angel, but they got to prove themselves in order to be even possible members. And I think we were on a beach in Mendocino County, and the state cops came down and said, anybody who didn't leave by midnight is doomed. Yeah, well, we're leaving, and anyone who stays here will not be alive in the morning, and fuck you, that kind of thing. You leave now, or all you enter here, abandon all hope. Yes. And I just stayed. I broke all my rules, and when you swim with sharks for a year and a half, it's lucky I wasn't beat up before. Yeah, the only person I knew in all that mob was Tiny, who I think was killed last year, and he pulled me out of it. To be stomped in a crowd of Hells Angels is nothing at all. It'd be like one of you dropping a beer out there and somebody else picking it up. It didn't even hurt. It hurts later, believe me, when all those ribs have to heal. It's like being hit by being full of acid or mescaline, hit by a Volkswagen in a crosswalk. There's no reason for it. It's awkward. Next morning it hurts a lot. But they wanted, I think, $2.50 out of every $5. And they thought I was printing the books in my basement and selling them for $5. And I tried to explain to them I was getting a quarter a piece off the books myself. And yeah, here we go. We're going to get down to it now. I finally at one point said, why didn't you dumb motherfuckers write the book yourself? Now that I look back on it, I have a feeling that's where I fucked up. So, yeah, you play with fire, you get burned.
Could you conceive of just eliminating taxes?
You mean all taxes?
Yeah.
Who's going to pay for the asphalt and the roads?
Nevada, whatever.
Well, then you have to put a tax on gambling.
No, let the government run.
What they did was, all they did was eliminate the income tax. New Hampshire has no income tax.
What?
New Hampshire has no income tax. They get the equivalent amount of money from a state lottery. You got to have something. These politicians have to have some money to fuck with. If you leave them up there with no money, they're going to start a war. See, I get him a road, you know, a pork barrel project for roads or docks or dams or Arabs, Jews, niggers, something. If you leave them up there by themselves, they will start a war. Otherwise, they'll be voted out of office. This is that sounds crazy, but that's really a weird way to state an ancient and very conservative political principle. Action creates votes. Yeah, you got to do something with them. Have them build tunnels, make them testify. I'm in favor of cutting their salaries to $1,000 a year, period, from the president to anybody else. I'm in favor of hiring the president, having a board of people, including me, of course, a 5-man board to hire the president. I have, but we've created a situation where you have politicians, and right below them is a hideous and dangerous substrate of lawyers who might be politicians any day. That should either be eliminated completely, the final solution to the lawyer problem, or else humored in some way. You got to have, like a B1 will keep them busy for a year, or a Lockheed thing like that. I'm in favor of humoring them. They get us a lot of trouble otherwise. As silly and stupid as they seem most of the time, they do have capacity to make us suffer. And if you turn your backs on them, they can cause you trouble.
What do you think of Muhammad Ali?
He's apparently a cousin of mine. It's kind of hard to talk about the family. My mother rejects this thesis, but we seem to have crossed somewhere in the Clay family. Yeah, that's it. With Bob Dylan and Ali and Castro, that's a pretty good trilogy to go down with for a decade. I could live with that. And those are the 3 people I'd pick out for the past, the decade, who have, I think there's a certain level you live on that they have lived on, and maybe other people have too. But I admire Ali. The bastard is turning into a fool now, and he's pushing his luck. But that thing about when he said no Viet Cong ever called me nigger, to me that was one of the most definitive statements about this culture and this time I'd ever heard in my life. And between Castro and Muhammad and Bob Dylan, we did pretty well in 10 years. They're making a film up here in Las Vegas. I think so, yeah. Finally, I sold the thing last week. Nobody knows how to make a film out of it. And how do you film 50,000 bats in the air over a car? The only person I've talked to was a British director who really seemed to know how to handle it. When I asked him how he was going to do the lizard scene and the acid scene in the Vegas bars, he said, that's a weird fucker in a black suit and weird crosses and strange things. Clive Aerosmith is his name. And he said, we'll go to an alligator farm with the alligators and we'll nail our hands to the bar and put suits on them. And that's the kind of thinking you have to make a film like that. So I don't want to be the person that goes to Vegas and nails alligators' paws to the bar of the circus. I may have to do it, because we did sell it, yeah, and we'll make a film of some kind out of it. I don't know what kind. Drug. I can probably talk to you about most drugs. What are you interested in? Coke, all right, what about it?
Why do you like it? What does it? Do you do it because you get high, because you get enlightened, because you can have a lot of energy?
Coke is sort of the vodka of the drug culture. For every dime you pay, for every dollar you pay for Coke, you're paying about 90 cents for insurance and 10 for the high. Because it's a manageable high. It doesn't require the commitment, say, of buying acid or mescaline. There is no commitment with Coke. It's a safe drug to take. It's like, people who don't like to drink vodka. And but vodka is still as dangerous as the others. The proof is exactly that high. Yeah, I think Coke's a very dangerous drug for me or you or anybody else. I happen to like it anyway, though.
Well, my question is like, what do you get?
Not much. I'd much rather have, say, good mescaline, but it's hard to even find anybody who'll eat mescaline with you anymore. You know, Coke is so safe. You pay 90 cents for insurance and a dime for the high, and you're guaranteed nothing bad will happen to you because, you know, it's safe, it's a social drug. You're not going to get too nuts. It's expensive enough, so you have a sort of cachet there in buying it. It's nice to give to people. I think I'm going to start carrying huge amounts of a combination of speed and acid around with me. And I'll get some kind of a cut that'll make it look like Coke. And offer it at all times. I'll be very free with my Coke. Yeah, I was once sold a gram of saltpeter and speed in the Jerome bar. That's a bad thing. I did the thing, and it's an ugly night. The guys never sold any more drugs in the bar as far as I know. But, yeah, I'm not sure they'll get much into more serious drugs. We don't have enough time to play around on it. Coke is, we could all get 190 years old and still be doing Coke and nothing would change. It's like beer, 3-2 beer. But it costs a lot.
Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists covered with oil, just strumming my 6-string on my front porch swing. Smell of shrimp, well, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know that it's nobody's fault. I don't know the reason, stayed here all season, with nothing to show but a brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How we got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. I blew out my flip-flops, stepped on a pop top. I cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. God, I still feel pain. I wish I had some cocaine, but that's been gone since early this morning. Wasting away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's all Hunter's fault. Yes, and some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know that it's nobody's fault.
Hey, thanks for watching this Grassroots Community Network program. You know, all the programming at Grassroots is created by local citizens and their nonprofits here in Aspen and the Roaring Fork Valley in Colorado. To see more Grassroots programming, subscribe to our YouTube channel here. To find out more about Grassroots Community Network, visit our website here And for more content related to the program you just watched, click here.